Hi folks, Luducium here, and I am playing Sang-Froid. Let's face it, I'm gonna keep mispronouncing it, I'm sure. I think it's pronounced Sang-Froid. I'll probably pronounce it. If you catch me pronouncing it Sang-Froid, don't mind me, I just don't speak French. Anyways, Sang-Froid means composure and coolness, if what Wikipedia told me is true, so we'll go with that. And, and this is a game about werewolves. But it's also a game about strategy and action and Canada and werewolves. It's an interesting game. I really like this genre, so this is an interesting genre mix-up. It's a hybrid between action and strategy, where you have third-person action phases, and then you have a strategy phase where you build your little town or area and you improve your character, so it's got a little bit of an RPG element in there, and it's a very interesting game. When I was much younger, I used to play a game called The Horde, which came out I believe in 1994 or thereabouts, and it was a lot of fun. It was about, I think your character was raised by a herd of wild cows or something along those lines, and you had to build a town and get cows, and cows gave you money, but then you would use that money to buy traps and defend your town during the action phase. So you had a strategy phase of the game where you build up your town and you get items and money and abilities, and then you had the action phase where you actually take control of the player and you actually fight off waves of enemies as they come at you. But it's unlike a tower defense game where the towers do all the fighting and you just sit back. Here you actually control the player and you actually get to do the fighting, and the things you built during the strategy phase of the game get to help you out. So this game is very similar to that. The other example, the more recent example I could give, is Orcs Must Die, which I haven't actually played myself, but I hear it's good. And it's in my Steam library, so I've been meaning to play it one day. So anyways, werewolves, sang-froid, tales, and so on. Let's give this game a go. I've played a little bit on my own, created a profile here, but we're going to start up a new game. So we're going to pick between one of two heroes. We have Jack here, who is going to be high difficulty, and we have Jose, Josie, or whatever they want to call him. Joseph is, I guess, his full name. And we have a little bit of a character backstory here. I'm not going to read through it, but I'll let you guys read it if you want. Feel free to pause the video and give this a read. The A's do kind of look like 2's, and that did throw me for a bit. The first time I read through it, I'm like, Joe's was too sickly, child. And then I stopped, and I'm like, Anyway, so we have that, or we could play as Jack, who is a little bit less HP and a little bit less physically powerful, but has more cunning and is better with traps, which is one of the abilities or things that we will use to help us win out against the different waves of enemies that come at us. But we're not going to play as Jack. We are going to play as Joe, because so far I've only played through a few days worth, which is only a few levels, and it was hard enough as is, so I don't want to make it harder on myself, because I don't know if I'll be able to do it on harder difficulty until I've at least played through it once on normal difficulty. And then here's our sister, and she is in the bed, passed out, and we'll get to find out what happened and why she's that way when we start up a new game. So let's go ahead without further ado. There we go, exercising some French there. We will hit that and we'll create a new game. I'll keep that profile. I'll create a new profile here. We'll call ourselves Luducium, and we will get going. So now here are the days that we're going to play through. So we play through about 20 days from the 5th through Christmas, which is, I guess, 20 days, maybe, I can't count. 7, 7, and 14, and 6, yeah, 20. And this threw me for a loop the first time we saw this, or I saw this. The year is 1855, by the way, that's when we're playing. We're living in Lower Canada, which I believe is the province of Quebec, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know that much about Canadian history, but I do know the provinces, which is impressive and I think puts me one step above my fellow Americans here. Anyways, not to brag, I know all the provinces in Canada. Give me money. Now, it's a skill that I have not been able to translate into anything useful, but that's alright. Anyways, December, it's 1858. It threw me for a loop because I saw wall calendar and I'm like, wall calendars weren't invented until the 1980s. What the hell is this game talking about? But apparently wall calendars were invented in 1803, which kind of blew my mind. That's crazy. But here we go. New moon, first day. We're going to go through a tutorial, and that's what's happening. So, a wolf. Canis lupus, I believe. Canis familiaris. It's dogs. Lupus, wolves, even though they could technically be the same species because they're only above 40,000 years separated evolutionary narrowly, and they can still breed and produce a successfully a viable hybrid. Anyway, what am I talking about? I don't know. I'm a biology major. The hell do I know about anything? For some time now, many villagers in Wolf's Vale have noticed a lot of strange behavior coming from the wolves in the forest, acting more aggressive than usual. There are even rumors that they've been possessed by the devil. Alright, let's get going. Continue, and we'll see a little bit of story. I'll sit back and shut up as the game kind of narrates for a little bit.
As I live and breathe, if it isn't my little sister, Josephine. What good wind blows you to the deepest, darkest forest to see your hermit brother?
More like a storm, I'm afraid. The parish priest went crazy and jumped me like a demon when I was dusting the sacristy. I tried to fend him off with a candelabra, but a candle fell on the floor and the church caught fire. Ever since, the whole parish of Woolsvale says it's my fault.
That's just crazy! Doesn't make any sense at all. But hey, don't just stand there like you're holding up the doorpost.
The thing is, you see, Jacques, I'm not alone.
Don't worry. It wasn't my idea to come here, brother.
Without Joseph to protect me, the villagers would have torn me to pieces in the village square. He can't live there anymore either. Please, Jacques, for the love of our mother, let bygones be bygones and let us both stay here with you.
Did you hear that? Sounds like a wolverine's outside spooking our horses. Since you're gonna be living off me, Josie, might as well make yourself useful and chase it away, will ya? Meanwhile, I'll heat up some tea for our sister.
You best take good care of her. She's got a fever.
Alright, so here we go. We're going to start playing as our character Josie, Jose, whatever. And basic tutorial, as always, walking, WASD, rotating the camera using our mouse, slashing at things using our axe. So when we do attack, there is a stamina bar at the bottom, which the game will actually tell us about in just a minute, but very Dark Souls-esque stamina management. It's important. I'm sure there are many other games that have stamina management. Just, I've been playing a lot of Dark Souls. So anyways, yeah, here we are. We're gonna go over there. Now that I'm seeing the game again for a second time, I'm kind of playing through for a second time. The voice acting, not the best. I can freely admit that the voice acting can use some improvement, but the story is pretty well written. So far, I like it.
I'll be damned. The horses are dead, and your Wolverine looks a lot more like a wolf, Jackie boy. The pack must be close by.
Alright, here we go. We're gonna go kill ourselves a wolf. Which is unfortunate because wolves were almost made extinct in North America. Noble creatures. And the wolf gives us money, somehow. Find the nearby pack. Alright, here we go. Pack it up, pack it in. Let us begin. I came to win. Battle me, that's a sin. We're gonna go run. We can run if we hold the shift key, by the way. And here we go, tutorializing.
Bridge to
3,
the village
2,
is
1.
burning.
Looks like it'll be stable, Jack, longer than expected.
Combat. Your health is represented by the red bar at the bottom of the screen, while your stamina is represented by the green bar. You use stamina for each attack you make. If you run out of stamina, then your attacks are slow and weak. You accumulate rage for each attack you land on an enemy. The fire on the HUD and on your axe indicates that you have some rage built up. Right-click to unleash all your rage. To evade enemy attacks, you can press the space bar to perform a dodge roll.
I like how the tutorial just says the fire on the HUD rather than heads-up display. I don't know why, I find that amusing though. Dodge! I can do an enraged attack, which will basically almost kill these guys. Let's manage some stamina here. And then hit those guys. It will get tougher than this, by the way.
Help! Help! Please help me! Help! Help! May Saint Anne have mercy on me! For the love of God, please help me!
Alright, so we gotta go save the Miller. Phidias McMiller.
The rifle. To reload your rifle, hold down the control key. To reload faster, click the right mouse button repeatedly. This icon appears when your rifle is loaded. Your crosshair will be red if you have no target, or if your target is out of range. It will be yellow if you're auto-locked onto an enemy. If you aim carefully for the head, the crosshair will turn green, and you can make a headshot, causing maximum damage. Left-click to fire. The amount of ammo you have remaining is shown at the bottom left of the screen.
We are going to get our rifle loaded and let's take a shot. Although I really don't need to for this. I guess it doesn't hurt. Kill ourselves one enemy. And then wait for it. Kill ourselves two enemies. So tutorial easy for now. But it does get tougher. Much tougher, actually.
The good Lord has sent you! Without your help, I would have been devoured like a rabbit!
Hard to miss you, Miller. I think they heard you all the way in Quebec City.
Be careful. There's a pack of rabid wolves around here.
How many?
Dozens, hundreds maybe. They even blocked the road to my mill in the east. Go see by yourself if you want. As for me, I'm gonna run and hole up at the W. Hood Company.
Okay, perfect. So we got a little bit of story there. The W. Hood Company is around. It's a lumbering mill around here. Lumber mill. That sounds better. I keep wanting to say Hood Company. I just Wood Company, maybe. Like the W and the H together just throw me for a loop. I don't know. I need to learn how to read better.
Fear factor.
I kid, I'm not going to learn anything.
When you're in combat, the fear factor meter appears at the bottom of the screen. This meter represents the time you have before your enemy's next attack. The more your enemies fear you, the greater the distance between both icons and the more time you have before the next attack. However, enemies aren't as afraid of you with each passing second, in which case the icons start to get closer. When your enemy's fear factor is equal to yours, the icons touch and your enemies attack. If you're running low on stamina, it's better to keep your distance and let it recharge. Be careful though, even if you have a higher fear factor, enemies will still attack you if you're too close.
Alright, so we learned a little bit about the show Fear Factor and our enemy, Joe Rogan. Here we go. We are the youth of the nation. We're also fighting off some werewolves. This, I don't have to worry about too much about losing too much life here, but, because right now these guys don't do that much damage, but I should probably try and, not get myself too hurt and actually practice combat a bit more. So we gotta go secure the mill bridge there. Sure, why not? We'll learn a little bit more about some of the abilities that we have available to us.
Pack management. When you attack multiple enemies at the same time, your chances for survival drop. So it's important to know how to intimidate your enemies to space out their attacks. There are two ways to intimidate your enemies. First, every time an enemy takes damage, its fear factor decreases. Second, the icon at the bottom of the screen is one of your special abilities, the intimidating shout. Press the Q key to shout and intimidate your enemies. Don't forget, the distance between the two icons is how long you have before the next attack. Take this time to reload your gun and let your stamina recharge. Lastly, the paw symbol over an enemy's head means it's next to attack. Always pay attention to them.
Alright, here we go. There's gonna be some enemies here. Let's shout, let it all out. These are the things I can do without. Come on! Alright. One down. So they are afraid of me and I can just kind of hang back, let the stamina recharge. They won't attack me yet. I can attack them. Let's go, we're gonna hit this guy. With our special ability. And now we can do a little bit more attacking, so 16 fear factor. That's good. So we can definitely use that to our advantage, and there's going to be way bigger waves of enemies, which makes things a bit more problematic. So there we can see we have a great wolf and two regular wolves.
2 seconds in some hot water. I better get back to the cabin as quick as I can.
And I should mention that this is the action phase of the game. So we're back at the cabin. To the right of the screen, you'll find the status icon for your buildings. So that's the glowing icon there. And we don't want to get the buildings damaged. Now we have to drink some Canadian whiskey. The game basically makes us. Oh, those Canadians. And then we can go ahead and try to fight these guys. So this guy's not afraid of me. Not by a long shot. Oh, crap. But we have plenty of life. Oh, I missed. Damn it! Now he's... well, he was afraid of me for a second there. Now they're a little bit afraid of me, and we've recharged our special ability, and we can use that to smack him. And probably just finish him off. And we'll finish this guy off, too. So, this is the action portion of the game. And next we're going to see the strategy part coming up. So we've got completed the first tutorial, 1 out of 3 there. Some sort of achievement. Fantastic.
They speak to me. I hear them. But especially I see. I see the beasts. They were sent by the devil.
What happened?
I don't know. She started shaking like a crazy person. Then she let out an awful scream and fell to the ground.
Damn it, I asked you to watch her.
Nobody going to mention the floating?
Go get Dr.
Levitation?
Valentine.
No. We're just going to ignore
What
that.
happened. But the bridge
okay.
to Wolf's Vale was burnt down. We'll have to wait till morning.
Werewolf. When the soul of a human is corrupted by the devil, it can escape its body at nightfall. To go werewolf. To go wolfen. There we go. So, Wolfman, Wolf Blitzer, is possessed. I knew it! The soul can then locate a wolf or dog and possess it. Soon after, the animal grows to monstrous size and acquires distorted features along with greatly increased strength, retaining part of its human intellect, and werewolf is cunning and relentless predator that will often lead large packs of wolves. Good, fantastic, something to look forward to. Characteristics: very resistant to all personal weapons, except those that are blessed. So, yeah, we'll be facing werewolves pretty much right away. So this is chapter 2, so that's the end of day 1, but there's still a bit more tutorial.
My lord,
and a little bit of
forgive
story
me.
that we're going to watch through.
I was overcome with desire. What have I done? What have I done?
You're only a man, LCR.
Who's there? Who are you?
But you just now invited me. When you tried to attack your servant Josephine after she'd refused your advances, I thought we had some affinities. But when you let the fire spread in your church after Josephine hit you with the candelabra, when you accused her in front of all the villagers of the crime that you had in fact committed, that was when I knew we were going to do great things together. And that is what brings me here to make an offer you can't possibly refuse concerning your lovely and inaccessible servant.
Alright, so here's the strategy mode of the game, as it tells us right there on the screen. In this mode, you're able to place traps in the forest to strategically plan your defense for the coming night. Fantastic. So Josephine tells us that she sees the beasts, and the werewolf is coming. Good times. Sad by all.
Omens. The omen cards represent Josephine's visions, and they help you plan your defense for the coming night. This shows the type of enemy that will attack. Leaving your cursor over a card will show you a lot of information about that enemy type. This is the number of enemies that will attack from this area. The attacking order of the omen cards depends on what wave they belong to. During the night, a new wave will not attack until the previous wave has been defeated. You can choose which waves you see on the map with the filters on the right side of the screen.
Okay.
The last icon
Good
on
to
the
know.
card represents what their target is for the night. In this case, it's your house. If you click on a card, you'll see the enemy's path to their target. Plan your strategy with the help of these omen cards.
Alright, so now that I know where the beasts are going to attack from, I'll set wolf traps to help me tonight. So if we click on the wolf trap, it'll tell us where to set it. In this instance, normally we get to set them wherever we want, but in this case, they want us to, for the sake of the tutorial, to actually just place them down here. And yeah, we'll watch the tutorial video. Sure, why not?
The wolf trap. You can walk over your wolf trap without worry. You won't set it off. A wolf trap will automatically activate when an enemy walks over it.
Alright, also try to lure beasts under hanging nuts. So we've got a second trap type here, hanging nut, and we can place it, well, in this case we have to place it here and here. Tutorial for the hanging net is now available. Sure, let's watch it.
The hanging net. The number above the net represents the amount of enemies underneath your trap. All you have to do is aim and shoot the net to bring it down on your enemies.
Alright. Okay, I finally finished setting up my traps. Now I need to wait for nightfall. So, basically we can just click on Start Night. We start at our house. Yep, so we just need to click that button. But before we do, let's take a quick look at the waves that are going to be coming at us. So we have 4 wolves coming this way, and they're just going to go through those traps and around. Then we have wave numero 2, which is 2 wolves coming from that direction. And then we have wave number 3, which is our Wolfman here, Wolfman Jack. And he is going to have a long trip over this way. Nobody actually goes by this trap, which is kind of odd because, like, why do we place it there in the to begin with? But anyways, our Wolfman is going to go this way and going to go through this trap. Actually, I do remember. Never mind. I remember why we placed that trap there. Yeah. Anyway, let's play through this real quick before we put a break in the video. We'll play one more level because I like this game. I like this game a lot. I'm addicted to it, and I want to get back to where I left off so that I can really get into it and play through material I haven't seen yet. So, wave 1. Press tab to view the map, so we can quickly view the map if we wanted to, just to kind of review where we were if we forgot. And then we can tab out. Well, we don't need to. We're going to go this way. We can actually run by our traps. So there's going to be 4 wolves. And you can see them coming here. They're going to trigger some of these traps, so now there are 2 wolves. We will straight up murder that one. And I'm going to save my charged weapon for the next wave. So this one we're just going to kill. Now the next wave is going to go, I believe, this way. Well, they're all technically going this way, so we'll come up here. But we will have a tutorial when we get there, so...
Detection. Enemies can see and hear you. If an enemy gets too close to you, it will see you and attack. The circle around your hero on the minimap represents the sound he makes. When you move, you make more noise. An enemy will detect you if its dot on the minimap enters your circle. Certain actions like firing your rifle or shouting create a lot of noise. When an enemy hears you, a marker will appear at your feet. This marker represents the last place an enemy heard you. All enemies that heard you will go to this marker. If the enemy does not see or hear you again, he will leave the area after a short period of time, and the marker disappears. The dashed circle on your mini-map is the range of your shout. Use this ability to lure enemies under your traps.
This is so Canadian. Just the music. Anyways, alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to lure the wolves underneath our trap by shouting. And running a little bit away, a little bit further away, so that they don't see me. And then once they're underneath the net, we're just going to shoot it. Bam. And those 2 are goners. Now we're going to move towards, yep, that's a good idea. Pop-up tutorial. We should reload our weapon because we are going to do the same thing again, except this time we're going to do it with the werewolf. Lure the werewolf underneath the net, and then shout at it, basically. Actually, we're going to wait for it to get within our shouting distance, and then we're going to shout. And it is going to... It has quite a ways to go around, so I think it's going to go around that way. So we're going to go this way. And it's going to ignore our house for now, and it's going to go underneath the net. And we'll get ready to shoot it when it does. There's our werewolf. There's our net. Come on. Come on. Oh, you oh, bitch.
Come
Fine.
closer, you stinking critter.
Alright, that didn't work! I screwed that up pretty badly. Alright, well, then we're just gonna hit him. We're gonna fight him the old-fashioned way, the way Grandma used to do it! Recharge. Dodge. I can knock him down and regain some stamina. And just dodge. And dodge. This very Dark Soulsian. Just reminds me of Dark Souls. Why isn't there a werewolf in Dark Souls? Somebody explain that to me. There's Sif. He's not a werewolf. Yeah, this would have been way easier if I had actually not fucked up the net. The sad thing is, this is the tutorial, and I've done this before. But there we go. We killed the werewolf, we didn't take too much damage. And we've ended the night. So this time around we actually get some XP. Get some more gold. There's our cabin and we get a level. So there's a little bit of RPG elements to this as well. That we'll explore and see in the next part. There's our Grand Wolf description. As everyone knows, wolves form strong hierarchical societies, which are led by alpha males. Only the biggest and toughest of these males are able to reach the ripe old age of 8, when they become Grand Wolves. And apparently they become real dicks and attack us, but that's okay. So we're gonna get a bit more story here and a bit more stuff we can do.
It costs action points every time you place a trap. The amount of action points a trap costs to place is shown in the trap info, which appears when leaving your cursor over the icon. Some traps also cost money. To remove a trap, click on the Trap Removal tool, then select the trap. To remove all your traps, click on the Remove All tool, then confirm. Traps disappear after one night, except those that cost money, which stay until used.
And we have one more tutorial about the bonfire. Let's just watch it, because I'm not sure if I can get it back.
Bonfires.
So in case anybody's interested.
To light a bonfire, press E while close by. If you're standing near a lit bonfire, it will significantly increase your fear factor. If you move too far away, you lose the bonus. This icon shows how much time is left before the bonfire goes out.
Oot. That's what I'm talking about. Anyways, folks, we have opened up a new path. There's more stuff we can do, but before we do any of that, if you feel like a little extra help, we can get some extra advice, and it just tells us how to move the camera around. Before we do any of that, I am going to put a break in this video. So folks, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and this video, and this game. If you did, please leave a like. It helps me out a whole bunch. If you haven't subscribed to my channel already, please subscribe as well. It helps me out a whole bunch. Plus, you get updates whenever I post new stuff. And as always, my name is Aducium. I appreciate you guys watching. I'm going to come back with some more of Sang-Froid in the near future. But until then, I'll see you guys later. Bye.